I'm Tracy. I own Ulysses. It's a 1978 Dodge Survivor. It was put into storage in 1982 and didn't see the light of day until July of 2020. I spent about 2 months detailing it, but everything on the van is original from '78. Mike Pierce in Independence, Missouri is the artist who built this van and did all the artwork and everything on it. 440 4-barrel Maxi van, and she's a sweetie. It actually has a rope grill in it. This is not metal, this is all rope. Mike Pierce hand carved out all the headlight covers and everything on it. The van is just, it's like it was in '78 when it came out and started showing. The turn signals and the running lights on the front, these are actual working. They do work just like they're supposed to. Matter of fact, well, Mr. Diamond Jim wanted something shipped, and he just told Mike, he said, here's the van, do what you do, have at it. So Mike sat down and drew it out on paper first and decided to put the ships on it. And the story of it's Ulysses, which Ulysses, the old wooden ship that went into port, and they kept telling it to come in, and it ended up hitting the rocks and sinking. Well, Mike went on ahead and put the mermaids in there to make it look realistic. And mermaids are not a captain's best friend. Trust me, they get you to come in and they'll bring you into those rocks as close as they can and crash it. If you look at the mermaids, they've got the chest. They've already got 2 of the chests down here. They're all wearing earrings and gold jewelry and gold bracelets.
And trying to entice you.
Yep. Diamond Jim, that was Jim Bradley, the man that originally had this van done. This van was delivered to Mike in July of 1977, and in '78 it started showing. The rack was missing when I got the van. I had to rebuild the rack, but I built it back to specs. Yeah. Because I have all the original renderings of this van. I have all the original pictures of this van and everything. So I built the rack back to specs and put it back up there. That's actually the ship deck.
Oh. Yeah.
That's what that's a replica of, is the ship deck. 10,600 actual miles. It was put in storage in 1982 in the humidified, temperature-controlled caves down in Independence, Missouri, and it didn't come out and see the light of day until July of 2020 when I went and got it.
Load in.
Well, you have to walk around this van 3 or 4 times to catch all the little stuff, like the guy hiding behind the whiskey barrels down there on the deck.
Oh yeah, there he is.
The carved out dogs on the top of the deck actually have diamonds in their eyes.
They're looking back at her, right?
Yep. I guess that's the Queen Mermaid. That's the one that brings you in. And her harp is a snake, if you look real close.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You can see the snake coming around.
And of course they already had one down over there. Oh
no, they got several of them down over there.
Several of them down there, they called it. Huh?
Well, that's where they got their treasure chest from.
Oh yeah, that's where they got
They done crashed these, so now they've got the treasure chest. And then of course your blue dolphins have got to be up there. As you can see from the other side, the ship was all together. Well, this is what happens when the mermaids get you in there. They bring you into the rocks and crash you, and this is the ship sets in the water and just sits there. Those are the original pipes that was put on there in 1978. Everything on this van survived real nice and real clean.
Incredible. Now, what kind of wheels do you have on it? What are they?
Those are Jegs. They're the 5 stars. They're like the weld wheel 5-star. When I picked the van up, it had 30 tree spokes on it, and they had deteriorated so bad they wasn't worth saving or trying to redo anything on it. The only thing that I've had to change on the van since I got it was the wheels and tires. The wheels and tires that was on it was history. Other than that, all the interior, all the woodwork, everything is all original. Seats are all original. And I wanted to leave it that way in memory of Jim Bradley, the man that originally had this van built. This was his pride and joy, and I just kind of left it the way he did it. All this woodwork for the door opener and everything was all hand carved by Mike Pierce.
Yeah.
And all the heads and the upper woodwork up there.
Oh, okay.
That was all done by Mike. He hand carved all that wood out. He also did the door on the icebox.
Oh, that. That's all that stained glass, huh?
It looks like stained glass, it looks like lead, but it's actually not.
Oh. Oh, it really looks like that.
This was carved out by Mike and put on the dash, and Mike did all the wood grain on top of the plastic. This was all done by Mike Pierce too. It's a Survivor, it is a time machine. It's also a, I guess you'd call it a piece of history. This is back when vans was really, really hot and heavy and everybody was trying to get them all done. That's a realistic Radio Shack AM FM cassette player with a graphic equalizer built into it, and 23-channel CB. Console was built by Mike when he was doing the interior on the van.
It's like that old guitar clock too, I used to have one in mine.
Yeah, but he quit working.
But yeah, so did mine, unfortunately.
The other thing I did do is all the years this van was together, he never had these 2 lights, these captain's lights hooked up. I have them hooked up now. I can go in there and turn them on for you. And I put an LED light on the map back there in the wet bar so you could see the voyage of Ulysses.
Oh, cool.
That is the original setup in there as far as he had for the wet bar. They were still in the van when I got it, so I left everything in there. The guy in the back, that's the captain. That's all we found of him. He went down with the ship, so.
I love it. Because he's having a drink back there, right?
Oh, he's had one too many last night.
Okay, so this next one is, this is a fave, the Flying Eagle. And the Flying Eagle was, this is a nod to Greg of Akron. Greg of Akron was a phenomenal Ohio customizer. You know, he's the Akron connection. He's Coop's big influence on his art. And that's part of why we recognize Greg. But, I mean, the Flying Eagle is like, that truck's up here. So it's like the Riddler Award. It's the best first time shown. If you're familiar with the Riddler, Detroit Autorama, people spend millions and build these street rods and they show up first time shown. So this is our style of that, first time shown. So it doesn't necessarily fall into other criteria of judging because a lot of other trucks are taken out of this category. We usually have 3 or 4 that are in it and sometimes it's really tough. And this year, like I said, sometimes when I show up to the truck in and my friends are kind of buzzing about something, I heard Tommy going nuts about it and I was like, I gotta see this truck. Tracy Helton, Ulysses. If you somehow manage to miss this truck, it's a Maxi Dodge. It is nautical themed, and it has a rope tube grill. Yeah. It has rope for the lock in the windshield gasket. Everything is to the T, full wraparound mural. Phenomenal truck. This is your first national truck in? Awesome. Unbelievable. First time this truck's been out since 1981. Make some noise. Bring the board up. Rest of the board.